use your time the best way possible. How to set up a short, flexible practice routine. Do not get strangled in long practice programs stretching over months of time. Always make sure you can step in on what is happening at the moment. Be ready to follow what makes you happy. Being inspired gets you to the next step in your practice. In this video, I'll walk you through how to be flexible in your practice and still set up a flexible practice routine. In this tutorial, what is good practice? Stay motivated and grow your skills faster. How do you stay flexible in your practice? Do not lock yourself up in long-term practice goals. What topics do you need to get around in your practice? Setting small-term goals in your practice. How to make a short-term and flexible practice program. Hi there, I'm Søren and welcome to Søren Ballegaard's saxophone lessons. I'm really glad you're interested in this information I'm offering in this tutorial. You can help me greatly by liking the video and subscribing to my channel. Thank you for the support. Let's set up a great practice. What is a good practice? A good practice is when you have practiced, feeling satisfied of what you have achieved. You have reached your small goals, feel motivated to take another go in your next practice. In your practice, you want to inspire yourself to do more and do better. Look forward to see that you are becoming better, having fun, playing music and becoming more and more motivated. This is a good practice. The big questions are then, how do you keep being motivated, keep looking forward, keep valuing the small steps? How do you do this? Stay motivated and grow your skills faster. Have fun in what you're doing. Enjoy what you are playing and practicing. Recognize that you're moving forward. These are all keys to staying motivated. I think one of the most important things to growth is to acknowledge the baby steps you're making and seeing them as progress. About those baby steps, all learning comes in baby steps. When you take many baby steps, you eventually end up taking and playing giant steps. Really noticing the growth you make when you practice is difficult but possible. Start by realizing that you're not in a hurry. This is not a competition in who can play faster, louder or whatever. Realizing that when you practice you become better, no matter how much or how little you're practicing. When you're thinking about music, you're already activating your brain, steering towards music. When you pick up your instrument, you're already in practice mode. Playing one scale, one lick, or even a small part of a melody is practicing. The things that often get in the way and stop you in your practice is the thought of not being where you think you want to be right now, not acknowledging the baby steps you make to get there. The baby steps are what we have to enjoy, and exactly this is the experience and the learning process. Start by accepting that all thoughts and actions toward music is a small practice. Start seeing, appreciating and enjoying all the small steps you make in music with or without your instrument. What topics do you need to get around in your practice? When you practice saxophone, there are certain topics I think you should really get around. Sound. How do you sound? How do you want to sound? Practicing sound, tuning, low tones, high tones, power, projection, stability, dynamics. Phrasing and articulation. It is of most importance you can give your music life and direction with phrasing and articulation. The difference between no phrasing and no articulation to playing with articulation and phrasing is a world of difference. Technique. This be the etudes, playing licks, reading the omnibook, playing the other player's solos, scales and arpeggios. You need to practice technique to become flexible in your playing and your execution. Melodic playing. When you play a tune, you need a keen ear on what sounds good and what can sound better. Training your melodic ear in taste is important. Learning to recognize how you sound and how you want to sound and how it should sound. Improvising. I'm totally convinced that improvising in music is a skill all musicians need to do no matter what kind of music you play. Improvising is training your ear to listen forward and react. Training your creativity to make up stuff and make it sound good. Training you in putting your skills to use in different and unexpected and expected ways. Ear training. Music is ear training. When playing music, you need to be able to hear what you are playing to a certain degree. You need to recognize what somebody is playing, and you can use ear training in all kinds of music. Ear training, hearing the notes, chords, scales and melodic, puts music in perspective and enables you to interact better with music. Music theory needs to be a part of your playing. Together with ear training, you can order the music and more easily describe music both for yourself and to others. Music theory enables you to think in longer sentences because of your knowledge about music. You need to practice all of the above. Do not lock yourself up in long-term goals. It's very easy to make long-term plans and think that if I do this in 6 months, I'll be able to do this and become this and so forth and so on. Sometimes it's also so, but mostly it's not. When you set long-term goals and lock these down in long practice sessions where you have to do exactly this before you can do this, you can easily get bored, lose inspiration and the joy of playing. Your practice is becoming a must instead of a I want to, and there's a big difference. If you want to change the subject because you get tired of the long-term goals, you can easily get the feeling of that you failed to achieve your goals. So please do not set long-term goals, set short-term goals, and if you need, repeat them. How to stay flexible in your practice. Gamify and have fun. There is no way you can practice all the above mentioned topics: sound, phrasing, articulation, technique, melodic playing, improvising, ear training, music theory, as alone standing subjects in one practice session. What I do when I'm practicing, I find out what I need to practice, thinking about what I like to play, what I want to be better in, and what I want to improve. I try to be rather broad in this subject. For example, I want better timing. I always try to be creative when I find out how to train a topic. I can train my timing by doing any exercise, playing any tune or practicing any music matter. I choose to practice my timing by playing a chord solo on a rhythm change. The way I choose to exercise is putting the metronome on 2 and 4, playing the chord note solo using half notes and quarter notes, staying in the groove. I start playing in a medium tempo, tempo 120, metronome on 2 and 4. In this example, I'll only play the first 8 bars of the rhythm change. Quarter note, half notes, chord note solo on a rhythm change. 1, 2, 3. I would go 2 to 4 rounds of solos, checking if I stay in the beat and focusing on the groove. When I practice in this way, I can add more topics to my practice. For example, technique, making sure to get around all the chord notes in the rhythm change. A sub-goal could be to only play in the low octave to learn the low notes of the chords. Rhythm change 2 and 4, low tones, chord note solo. 1, 2. If you do more rounds, still keep the main focus on the timing. You can play a solo only using the higher register, the upper octaves. Other topics you can add to this is dynamic, playing very soft, training your projection or your abdomen doing this. So I'm playing low notes, I'm playing soft. That's my goal. I'm trying to play very soft, so focusing on a very soft solo, pushing really far, getting great projection on my sound. Still chord notes with a metronome on 2 and 4, only playing quarter and half notes. That's my practice goal right now. adding more goals. Make sure that you articulate all notes very well. Playing 8 bars of rhythm change, low on the horn, chord notes, great articulation, very soft, great projection. 1, 2, 3. In this way, I'm challenging myself to being creative with my practice, thinking about all the ways I can practice a simple thing like a melody or a lick and adding different practice topics to this. The most important thing is to have fun. Think of how you can make a game of your practicing, enjoy the small steps and be glad you are able to practice. Setting small-term goals in your practice. The above mentioned maybe sound like a long practice. I think I could do this in 5 minutes and be happy that I did it. How? Start by being very critical about your practice time. How much time do you have? Seriously? If you have 5 minutes to practice, that's great. In 5 minutes you could do the above mentioned practice routine. When you know that you have 5 minutes to practice a certain day, you need to be creative how and what you practice. Set an overall goal. Split this into sub-goals. Be creative how to practice the sub-goals. Make sure you add more topics when you practice a sub-goal. Be aware of what you are practicing. Keep the focus on the topics that you are practicing. When you do this, you get a very effective 5-minute practice. You're practicing what you like and what gives you energy. You are having fun and getting inspired by your progress. When you notice your baby step progression and you can enjoy this, you get extremely motivated and you want more. How to make a short-term and flexible practice program. In an earlier video I presented the Ultimate Practice Program Planner. This practice program planner is a simple tool to help you get going in your creative practice. Write an overall goal you want to achieve, splitting this into sub-goals, writing out how to practice this, adding what topics to practice together with the sub-goals. The Ultimate Practice Program Planner is a free tool you can get on my Patreon page or when you subscribe to my newsletter. When you subscribe, you can download it. Also, in this week's newsletter coming out Saturday, I will add the direct link to the Ultimate Practice Program Planner, the download. Check the video on the Ultimate Practice Program Planner in the description below. Your questions are really welcome. If you are wondering about stuff I mentioned in this tutorial or other tutorials, let me know in the comments. Likes, subscribes and shares are always welcome. All links mentioned in this video are available below in the description. Play music, have fun.